Well, good morning, guys. So I'm out here today at the lake, a lake I've never been to. Beautiful area, about an hour from the house. This particular area is kayak only. I had heard about it probably 10 years ago. A buddy of mine told me there's a good sized fish in this lake. Thought I would come try it. So I've signed up for a few online kayak tournaments. First time I've ever competed in one, and today will be my first ever day of attempting to catch some fish to log into an online tournament. There's three different ones. I'll probably talk about those here in a little bit, but here is my setup so far. There's what I've got. I added a crossbar here. I've got my graph there, black pack, and a few other essentials. I'll go through this in a different video, but anyway, just wanted to show you I'm out here on the lake, so let's see what we can do. All right, guys, I just entered my first ever kayak bass fishing tournament fish. I'll put a little clip here in the video. All right, here is my 17 and a quarter going back in the water. I said in the video when I was releasing it that it was 17 and a quarter. It was actually 17 inches. I got a little excited. I've been on the water now for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that was my first bite of the day. I tried some top water. I was a little later, it was about an hour later getting on the water than what I had planned, so I may have missed a top water bite. Fished some grass edge. There's quite a bit of grass around this lake. I don't know if they've recently sprayed or what, but I mean, it's good, healthy looking grass, but even a swim jig, you know, throw up in there and it's bringing just tons of grass back with it. So it's really hard to fish. But this fish was actually right in behind me here. You can see this lay down. There's some grass between that lay down and the bank. I threw right up here at the edge of it, probably about 1.5 feet, 2 foot up into that grass, and that's where this one bit. So 17-inch, good fish for my first ever tournament entry, so I'm tickled with that. I'm gonna work this shade around here in this pocket. It's kind of going up into a creek right there. I'm not sure what that wire is around it, but I'll probably go up around that bend and we'll see if I can come up on anything else, because there's a lot of good shade in here, so I'm gonna work it while I've got it. All right, guys, I thought while I'm fishing around here a little bit, trying to make the best use of this shade, the sun's really getting up pretty high now, but thought I would talk a little bit about kayak tournaments for those of you who may not be familiar. So kayak tournaments are scored by length. You know, boat tournaments use weight. I grew up a boat fisherman. My dad has almost always been in a local club. I fished tournaments with him, and so it's really hard for me even to. I've been kayak fishing for 15 years. This is just the first time I've tried to fish any tournaments, but it's really hard for me to talk about a fish the size of a fish in length. You know, I'm getting better at that, but I'm so used to saying, well, this one weighed so many pounds. You know, if I was guessing, that last one there was probably a 2.5 pound fish, something like that. But he was 17 inches. So the way that it works, don't stick a hook in your finger. They call them catch, photo, release. Okay, let's try this again. I went to flip my texture rig into a laydown. Didn't realize the hook point was exposed. It stuck the end of my finger. Of course, it pulled a major backlash in my reel that I had to get out. Anyway, so yeah, the way these kayak tournaments work, they refer to them as CPR tournaments. For those of you in the medical field, it is not chest compressions. It is catch, photo, release, meaning obviously you have to catch the fish and then you have to photograph it on an approved measuring board. Most of them use a catch board, which is something like this. You have to have an identifier on it that has a number specific to the tournament that you're fishing. These are only given out the night before the tournament. So like the ones I'm fishing today are actually a month long. So the night before the first of the month, they email you the code, and it's to keep people from cheating. But anyway, so there's a few different approved measuring boards for most of the tournaments, and you take a picture of your fish laying on the board, and then the R is for release. You release the fish back. Oh, just got a little fish. Nope, it come off. I think that was a bluegill. Yeah, he just had the tail of the worm. But you release the fish back, and then you use an app, either Fishing Chaos or Tourney X. Usually, I don't know of any others. There may be, but one of those apps where the tournament that you're fishing is being kept, and you submit the fish through that app. And so I'm actually registered in 3 different tournaments. One of them is through KBF. It's the Catch 22. It's actually a year long. It keeps track of your largest 22 fish of the year. It costs $22. The theme being 22 is to raise awareness for veteran suicide and mental health, because roughly 22 veterans around the U.S. each year commit suicide, or excuse me, each day, I'm sorry. So it's trying to raise awareness for that. You know, this is August. I'm getting started late. I know I don't stand a chance of being anywhere near the top of the pack on that one, but I really just wanted to kind of give that to support. One of the others is also a KBF. It's actually the State Challenge Series. It's a month long for everybody in the same state as you. They've got one for every state, I think, at least the majority of the states. If they've got bass, they probably have a series in your state. And then another is through Carolina Kayak Angler. So here in North Carolina, it's just a state kayak fishing group. So the rules are a little bit different for each one. Like I said, the Catch 22 is your largest 22 fish for the year. The Challenge Series through KBF is your largest 5 fish of the month. And then the Carolina Kayak Angler one is called 20 for 26. Costs $26 to enter. It's your largest 20 fish of the month. And of course, it's just competing around guys here locally. The Challenge Series KBF, if you finish high enough in it, you can qualify for the national championship. Again, just getting into kayak fishing, or excuse me, kayak tournament fishing, there's a lot of nuances. It's not just getting out here and fun fishing. It is fun, don't get me wrong. I love doing it. But that last fish there, I know from doing big bass boat tournaments, the whole mentality around tournament fishing is totally different. I mean, you're racing against the clock or whatever. With fun fishing in the kayak, there was a bite. You know, you catch the fish, it's fun, you release it. If it gets away before you get a picture of it, because most of us like to photo our fish whether we're tournament fishing or not, right? If it gets away without a photo, you're not really at a loss. But there's a lot more pressure to get that photo, and you know, there's certain criteria that the photo has to meet. So when I caught that last one there, it's like, you know, it's a lot different. I put them on boards and measured them and photographed them for several years, but just knowing that it has to be perfect to submit it, you know, there was a lot to it. So Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to getting more involved in this. My work schedule now allows me a little bit more time to fish, and I'll be pretty young when I'm retiring. There was a huge fish that just rolled. I'm guessing that was a carp. I just saw its back. But yeah, I'll be really young when I retire, so Lord willing and my health stays good, I hope to be able to do a lot more of this. But anyway, just wanted to kind of give you an overview of those kayak tournaments and how they work. Let's see if I can catch some more fish here. All right, guys, I just got fish number 2, also on the Texas rig. Looks like he's going to be similar size, maybe not quite as long as that last one, but I am tickled with him. Let's see what we have here as far as a measurement. Man, these fish are absolutely swallowing this Texas rig. That last one I had to cut out because I was afraid I was going to kill the fish if I tried to get it. Let's see if I can get this one here. All right, I was able to get that one with a little trick that I learned from Gene Jensen, Fluke Master, where you get him back in the water here on my fist grip, let him recover a little bit. I've never seen that trick. I've used it several times since I learned it from him. You take one finger and stick it in through the gill plate and kind of let the tip of your finger be in the bend of the hook, and it works really good. You can kind of push pressure on that while you take the other finger, the other hand or a pair of pliers or something, and rotate it around how you need to, and it works great. So, all right, I'm gonna take a picture of this fish here and I'll be right back. All right, so that one was 15 3/4. I'll have to throw a picture of it up because I went to video the release, which, by the way, KBF requires you to video your release so that if there's any questions, they can come back and see that. It does away with another aspect of cheating that came about last year, year before. But anyway, went to video it and I forgot to hit record. I thought I had hit it. Anyway, I did not. So, but I got the photograph of the picture, 15 3/4. So that puts me at 32 3/4 inches in 2 fish. So I'm happy with that. It's not gonna, get me in top prizes or anything, but that's a good sized fish for what I'm used to on an average. Yeah, so I think to be in the top, you're gonna have to average 20-inch fish. I don't know that I'll be able to do that, but I'm having fun anyway. All right, guys, just got fish number 3. All of them today have come on the Texas rig. First 2 I had on they're all June bug. I really like June bug this time of year. The first 2 were a Zoom dead ringer worm. This one I started tearing those dead ringers off pretty bad on some brush. So I switched over to an old monster, which I've always loved. And that's what this guy came on. He hit it a couple times. I put it back in there. He looks like he's probably gonna go about 14. We'll see here. Let's get him on the board and measure him. All right, here is my 16-inch in the water. So he was actually bigger than I thought. He actually went 16 even, so good fish. So I've got a 17, a 16, and a 15 3/4. Not a bad bag for 3 fish, first time on this lake. So I'm gonna fish on around, see what I can do. I've got about another hour, just a little over, that I'm gonna have. So I've got to start making my way back to the ramp. All right, guys. 4th fish of the day, another 15 3/4. So that's 2 of those exactly the same. All right, here's the 15 3/4, the second one. Release. All right, guys, I'm calling it a day. So it is 3:30 almost now. I think I ended up getting on the water at about 7:30. So what's that, 8 hours? Caught 4 fish, 4 good quality fish. I would like to have caught more, obviously, but I actually kind of had a goal in mind of catching 5, because the KBF tournament, the month-long one, it's a 5 fish limit. I mean, obviously I'll get out on the water more this month. I've got several days kind of scheduled to do that, but anyway, still not bad though. I had a few more bites, a few that I knew were bass bites. Just wasn't able to land those, but 4 fish, 4 good solid fish. I've actually got, let's see, 2 15 3/4. That's 31 and a half, a 16, 47 and a half, and a 17. That's 64 and a half inches in 4 fish. Not bad. Not the size that's going to win tournaments, but I mean, if I had in the 20 fish bag, if I had 20 of those like that, it wouldn't be bad. But nonetheless, though, solid fish. I'm happy with them. It's been a great day. We'll see how we do the rest of the month. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you like this, be sure to comment below. If you have any questions, or better still, if you have any advice for me moving forward, since this is my first kayak tournament, got any advice for me? I'd love to hear it. Leave in the comments below. Take care and God bless.